today regarding TSPLOST. But thank you to our sponsors today. I would like to introduce Windstream by Kinetic. If you want to come up, Jerry, and say a few words, they are our luncheon hosts. They have some materials there for you to take home on your table. Let's give them a warm welcome.
I work in the Dezine. It used to be a retail store. We converted it to a connection center. We want to let you know we are still here. So we've not gone anywhere. We still have the same local number. So if anybody needs anything, new service, filling questions, if you have your realtor and you need to know what speed is available at an address, just give us a call. But we just want to let you know we're going to be more part of the chamber. We're actually not going to have a storefront, so we have more time to be out in the community and stuff, which we're grateful for. But like I said, if you need anything, just give us a call. This is Danielle. I'll let her speak as well.
I was not prepared for this. It's great to be here. We're really excited to make connections with everyone. And like she said, we're still here in the community. We are more residential based, but we are here. If you guys have business questions, we can in general answer them. But we may have to hash it off, but we'll make sure we find somebody to help you guys out.
I want to let everyone know, and I can't say how proud I am. My daughter is Ashley Sapphire, if anyone knows. Sorry, I have to say this. And I am so proud of her. She has grown, I've heard so much about her. She's grown in the community, so I'm so happy.
Thank you for sharing her with us. We love having her as one of our wonderful ambassadors. Thank you to Kinetic by Windstream. They have always been great partners of ours. I'm glad to see that they're able to get out in the community a little bit more and be front-facing. But we're very thankful for them, as well as our Luncheon series sponsor, which is Medical Plaza 400. And Monty is right there in the back, but he's going to hide from me. So thank you for that. Well, we have a few chamber events coming up, just a few. Saturday is our 27th annual gala. How many of you will we see Saturday? All right, I'm looking at all of you. I'm not going to see. I hope you have severe FOMO about 6 p.m. on Saturday and all the fun we're going to have without you. But it's nice to get together as a community and celebrate those who make our community great, including the chamber, which I'm very excited about. Thank you to everyone who has donated some of the auction items. We're up to how many, Anna? 120-ish items. So be sure you download the Bid Beacon app and go ahead and register. That way when you get there to the gala, you can punch in the code and start bidding away. We're also going to have a live auction with our auctioneer, Cody Shimbars back there. Is going to be our auctioneer. So please come ready to have lots of fun and make some contributions. All right, Tuesday, March 19th at 11 a.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Caritas. Wednesday, March 20th, we have a ribbon cutting with Georgia Home Furniture and Liquidation. Tuesday, March 26th, we have a ribbon cutting with Jeremiah's Italian Ice, which I've heard is phenomenal. Wednesday, March 27th, we have a ribbon cutting with Nano Environmental Solutions. And then save the date for our next business after hours, which is Thursday, March 28th. It will be at the North Georgia Premium Outlets. Give it up to Randall for getting us back in. And we do have a slight change. We will not be in the food pavilion. Can I say where we're going to be? Yeah. Okay. We're actually going to be hosting it at Versace. Ooh. So on your best behavior. Okay. He's got a shopping. Thursday, April 11th, we have a ribbon cutting with Varsity Art Hydraulic Repair. Lots of our new members, very excited. And then save the date for our next Coffee and Commerce is Tuesday, April 16th, and it will be at local church, Dawson. So very excited. We have lots of things coming up. Also want to mention there are some flyers in the back. They will be having lots and lots of great things at Main Street Park coming up. But Gospel in the Park will be Saturday, May 11th from 1 to 6. So be sure you're marking your calendars for that, and let's usher in summer. And last but certainly not least, I would like to publicly congratulate Dustin Hurd on his 6th year at the Chamber today. He loves public recognition, so I will get a silent treatment the rest of the day. That's fine. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica Grigsby, our wonderful membership director.
I'm just kidding, you to step out. Happy to be here today. I do have quite a few members that we need to recognize. I'm excited for all the a few peers. I'm excited for them here as well. As Marketing Group, LLC, Delano Resort and Vineyard, Gibson Insurance Solutions, Home Furniture and Liquidation, the Steel Magnolia Bar, Everett, Dawsonville Nutrition and Georgia, LLC, Because Mom Marketing, Aspire to be Jewelry, Olympus MD Wellness, Manrat Homes, LLC, GCG Pools, Micah's Integrity Commercial Cleaning Services, and Legacy Roofing and Exteriors. So all those have joined since our last luncheon in, March and January. So super excited to have all the new members. Is there any of our new members that are here that would like to stand up and introduce themselves? No? Nobody? Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Urban and I run Because Integrity Cleaning. So we currently offer commercial and residential, mostly commercial though, but we offer flexible packages and residential. So I look forward to connecting with more of you and get to know you guys, and thank you for having me.
There's a couple that wasn't able to make it. So anyhow, I'm thankful to be here, thankful for all of you all, and I'm ready to walk over to the meeting. Yay!
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming out. We wanted to take an opportunity to really share information today. I will give you a call to action here at the end of the presentation, and then we'll have some question and answers. So if you have any questions, especially really hard questions, save that for Mr. Bolz up here, and he'll be able to answer all of those for you, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so today we're going to talk about TSPLOST, which we love acronyms, but it's called Transportation Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. Now you know what we call it, TSPLOST, right? It stands for a lot of things. So this will be coming to the ballot in May 21st, actually, 2024, for the citizens of Dawson County to decide if this is something that we want to adopt. So what is TSPLOST? I'm not going to read this off of here, but we have done a lot of planning and going into it. Is it something that we need to do? Is it something that this community needs? I think we can all agree, if you're all focused on Dawson, if you have the strength of your heart to be able to endure that. A lot of the needs that we have are in regards to transportation. Anytime we have a project come on board, they always want to talk about transportation. So this is an opportunity for us to really have a way to put transportation ahead of the game here in Dawson County. And I know there's been some speculation about what transportation really means, so we really want to spell that out here. It is not public transportation. For Dawson County, transportation is the repairing of existing roads as well as improving intersections for increased traffic flow and overall improved safety. On your table, you do have the project list that was approved, just like other SPLOST projects. We have got a predisposed project list, and so that is there in front of you if you want to kind of look over those as well as we're going through our presentation. So there are 44 counties in the state of Georgia that have already adopted TSPLOST, and they are collecting. I'm going to go over the history of TSPLOST here in a moment, but you can see the ones in green adopted it as a regional project, and that is the first time that we ever saw TSPLOST. It was a regional project component to it. that we declined. And then, since then, there's been legislation which allowed each county to be able to adopt TSPLOST individually as a county. And so you can see in blue, including our neighbors up in Luncheon County, there are many, many counties in the state of Georgia who have chosen to adopt that as their funding mechanism for TSPLOST. So in the history, in June of 2010 is when the state allowed us to be able to take a stance as voters to vote it in. The regional TSPLOST was in 2012, in which Dawson County did decline the TSPLOST then, and then in 2015 we were able to do the single county TSPLOST. It allows you to levy the tax. So what is TSPLOST? TSPLOST is a 1 cent, 1 penny sales tax on every dollar that is spent in Dawson County. It would last 5 years, and the total collection we're looking at is $68.7 million. And I know what you're all thinking. There's a lot we can do with $68.7 million. And while there is some truth to that, I'm about to show you in a minute how much it really costs to do our roads, and then you're like, wait a minute, that really doesn't go quite as far as, buying your Versace bags. So, here is the split as well. So there is a split between Dawson County, City of Dawsonville, and then there are several joint projects that we are doing between the city and the county, and along with GDOT, but I'm going to save that conversation for just a minute. And I do have down at the bottom just a little note, which I hate that it's small at the bottom, because it truly is a reason why we should always pass a sales tax. Majority of the funds collected, more than 85% arguably, but we're going to be conservative. But we have data that shows more than 85%. So 85% of the funds collected are people who spend money in Dawson County don't live in Dawson County. So those of you sitting in this room that live in Dawson County, we make up such a small part of what that $68.7 million will be. But we will make up all of it if we don't have TSPLOST. And I'll tell you how we're going to have to do that if we don't pass TSPLOST. So, please don't ask me any questions about this slide. I have professionals in the room. Travis and Robert are here that can walk you through what this looks like. But, so full depth reclamation of a road, which is digging it all the way up, relaying it, is $761,000 plus per mile. Per mile. Just to mill and resurface is $138,000 per mile. So I'm not matching you, so I'm a recovered debater, but if you start really adding that up, that is not going to take you very far. So when you look at the general budget for Dawson County, the City of Dawsonville, that is a huge number that has to come out of general funds that is funded through property tax, right? That's a large chunk. And so it takes a lot of money to be sure that we keep our existing roads up to standards. And let's face it, sometimes we kind of get behind. But that usually falls because funding. We just don't have enough money to go around. So these are some key projects that we have. There's also a QR code. I'm going to cross my fingers. It works, I'm pretty sure it does. This is going to take you to our TSPLOST page on the Dawson Chamber website that has the full list that you have in front of you of all the projects. But these are just some notable projects that I wanted to be sure that I brought up to you today here at the Luncheon. Luncheon Campground Road. How many of you love driving down Luncheon Campground Road? Especially about 5:30, or really 2:45 when the school's let out, right? So that is one of the big projects that we have. And some of you may say right there 53 in Dawson Forest, but at 53 is a state route. So GDOT is in charge of any improvements that come to state routes. Do you know where Dawson County ranks on GDOT's list of priorities? We don't even make the radar on Luncheon Campground Road in 53. We're not even on their radar for that. When you do get on their radar, it's usually about a 7 to 10 year waiting period before you actually get on there. So one thing that we're able to do with TSPLOST is really leverage some of those dollars that we're able to collect to take the GDOT and say, hey, we as a community have collected this and we want to put, it's not this basic, but you get the point. We're going to put money into this, and then guess what happens? Magically, you move to the top of the list, right? And so can you imagine all the other communities that know that, especially the 44 that currently have in the state of Georgia? So what are they doing? They're further pushing us down the list, right? So that 7 to 10 year timeline may turn out to be a whole lot longer than that. But what do you think is going to happen with our growth in the next 7 to 10 years? It's not going to stop, right? People are going to, it may slow, but it's not going to stop. So if we don't have these funds to put in, we may never get the attention of GDOT to come and take care of some of the state routes. And we have lots and lots of state routes in our community. There are, I shouldn't say lots and lots, there are several main GDOT state roads that we have. There are a couple of roundabout projects, a few of those, and some road improvements in some very desperate needed areas, Maple Street, Hubbard Road, Nightfire Road, Cowart Road, and Grizzle Road. So, again, the full list is there in front of you. That's just to remind you that we already work very closely with GDOT. That's how we know we're not on the list. So if we can collect $68.7 million, that's only going to increase what GDOT will go in that we can leverage and that they will put out on the table to help improve our roads as well. I don't know what that number would be, but it would be in the millions to be able to help us do that. So, here we are. Here are our options. As citizens of Dawson County and the City of Dawsonville, here are our long-range transportation options. TSPLOST. We passed TSPLOST as a community. Our collection of funds would begin in 2024, and then hopefully we could begin construction as early as this time next year to start working on some of these projects. Another option that we have, arguably not the best option, but we have to improve our roads. We have to maintain what we already have. How do you do that? You have to take it out of your general fund. How's your general fund? It's property taxes. So we, as property owners, are going to have to foot the bill to keep our roads maintained. Arguably, probably not the standard we would like, correct? Or it is an option, not advisable, but do nothing and allow our roads to just deteriorate. There's only so much money to go around in roads. We see how expensive it is, so it is an option. So this is just a little information about the mills. Currently, our mills are about $2.7 million in revenue. So assuming 5 years, we need about $13 million extra in collections to make up what we would get for TSPLOST. So it's about 5 mils per year. That's if your property values don't go up. Let's all hope that our property values do go up, but that's not even taking that into account. So for a $350,000 home, your property taxes would increase above what it already is, $1,778 per year. That's what it would take for us to make up the $68.7 million in property taxes. And then of course, if you live in half $500,000 home, it would increase to over $2,500. But that's what it would take for us to get where we need to be. All right. This is a lovely video I'm going to show you. Whoa.
I'm just click it one more time and it'll start playing.
This?
Yeah.
All right. Y'all enjoy.
You can come here and live on the old portion of our county if you want to be out on that side, or you can live on the lake if you want to enjoy those type of amenities. Or if you want to live in a suburban area, which is a 400 corridor, that puts you within 5 to 10 minutes of excellent dining as well as shopping. A lot of people are moving here out of the larger cities and counties just because they want to get away from all that hustle and bustle that they currently are dealing with. I think what we have to offer here, especially as the city and the county, is we can have that reputation of people just want to be a part of the community. There is a lot more people moving to the area, a lot more vehicles on the highway. Also increases the way of areas of the road, so therefore it's on part of our maintenance. For our census, in the last few years, the city owns over 47%, and the county saw over 20, or not at 60% growth in the city and 1% county. And so there's a lot of growth, and so therefore it's going to require a lot more maintenance and growth. We do budget every year for a certain number of projects, road projects, but for us to have the necessary money that we need to be able to meet the needs, we need a designated revenue source in TSPOST with the transportation special purpose loan off the sales tax, which is an offset tax that all taxpayers would pay, as well as anyone who buys goods and services in Dawson County. So it's based on sales. With the marriage tax, about 80% of the sales tax money that's collected here in Dawson County comes from people who visit Dawson County. People come up from the lake, and a lot of people have lake property, so they're always buying goods and services that sales tax are high. I would tell you as a citizen, it allows us to keep your county millage rate up. Over the last 5 years, we've lowered the millage rate every year. And so that will allow us to continue to be able to look at that and continue to do that. And if you look at the proposal that we have for the citizens to vote on, there's about 50+ projects throughout the county, and that's every corner of the county. So TSPOST funding will be used to fix like this intersection with Mandy, improve all the different types of roads that we have in there, pay some county dirt roads as well. And so it'll be used throughout the entire county. The TSPLOST that goes dedicated to the roads that we have that we like to see done in our community. We'll make the roads much safer, and the intersection much safer, and this right here, and all other places that we got. It is a very bad intersection, especially people trying to get in and out, and a lot of people attest to what's going on here.
The big challenge, especially for rural counties in Georgia, is being able to maintain their roads, their local roads. In Luncheon County, we got over 400 miles of local roads. And without the TSPLOST, we were on an unsustainable course to be able to maintain that many miles of road. We simply just did not have the money to do so. Basically, the money that we were using was coming from the tax idea. So it was the local people, the property tax owners, that were paying for the paving of those roads. So since we've implemented the TSPLOST, we've seen a tremendous improvement in the roads and safety and the number of miles that we can pave annually. We made numerous improvements such as roundabouts and safety upgrades to some of our local roads, and it's just been a tremendous help. Our community has a lot of visitors. We're big on agritourism. We have the University of North Georgia, so there are a lot of outside people that come visit Luncheon County. We're thankful for that. We want them to have the same opportunity to help us keep our roads up as the people who live in our community. So what this did is this gave us an opportunity through sales tax, people that visit Luncheon County and the people that enjoy what we enjoy on a daily basis in Luncheon County, an opportunity through their sales tax to also help us with our roads. Nobody really likes to vote for a tax, but I do believe that the most fair tax that you can pass is a sales tax, because it gives everybody the opportunity. It doesn't just leave the burden on the property tax owners of the county. We want our community out in the middle when we pass the TSPLOST. So let's burden on the property tax owners and more of a distribution of the cost among all the people in the county and those who visit. If you're going to keep up with the roads and not fall behind, you've got to have that money from somewhere. And, the TSPLOST has been phenomenal for the citizens of Luncheon County to help us keep our roads current.
We're anticipating $68,700,000 from the county and the city to be collected from that once it's sales tax. We ask citizens to seriously consider all the pros that are associated with this. We want to be able to fix all of our roadways and intersections, and this will give us the opportunity to go and do that. If I go build to these roads, it's safety for the community and everyone else. We got young drivers, we got old drivers on the roads and everything, and we will look out for this as continued growth is happening. We will try to stay fit to keep safety for our citizens here.
thank you so much to the city and the county for putting that video together. I know Joey was instrumental in getting it put together, but really I could have just showed y'all that, right? You can let my presentation out of this. But there are a few things in there that I really want to be sure that y'all pick up on. When Chris Aubrey said that it was not sustainable to continue down the road they were going, that is the same for us. It is not sustainable at the level that we would like to keep going the way we're going. So we do feel that this is the best option. I don't know about you guys, but I have a daughter that is about to be 15, but in a year she'll be driving. And so to me it's really important, and as well as important for every bus that is on the road for our school system, to be sure that they have safe roads that they can travel on. And again, we feel like TSPLOST is the best way to accomplish that. So we have a call to action for all of you that are registered voters in Dawson County to please go out and vote yes to TSPLOST on May 21st. Early voting starts on April 29th. And I want to continue to remind you, as you're out there having conversation with other community members and other voters, because that's really what I want everyone in this room to do, is share the information. This would majority be collected from people who do not live within Dawson County. More than 85% of the revenue that we collect from sales tax are paid by people who don't live here. So they use our roads as well, right? So why not allow them to help pay for what we can have here in Dawson County, just like we have with other things. So there are many other communities that would love to be in our position with the level of sales tax that we have. I've heard Sheriff Thurman say that many times before, and this would be no different. It would be a no-brainer for any community that has the sales tax revenue that we do from all of the retail businesses that we do. Thank you, Randall. To be able to do that. So here's what it's going to look like when you go to the ballot. I think it's important that you see that before you get there, so that you know that we're not there. What the language looks like. It's not a trick. So sometimes things can be worded a little weird, but this is the ballot language that we will ask you to vote against. Give y'all a minute to read it. And then last, but certainly not least, before we take questions, the Chamber and the Advocacy Committee really take our job seriously in making sure that we're sharing information and things that we know will make Dawson County and the City of Dawsonville great. We want to be the catalyst for a better Dawson County. And we're going to hold a town hall on April 22nd at the Dawson County Junior High School, and we're going to share a lot of the information that we have shared today. It's going to be an opportunity to ask questions of those elected officials and those experts that we have here, and Robert Trampus, and the technical questions that live it every day. And we are going to bring the community together to share information so we can decide if it is in our best interest for TSPLOST. So with that, we will invite Joey and Bob. Not at once. And if you want to say something, or you want to do questions first?
Next question.
All right.
I say something.
Yeah.
I always say something. What it does with the city, I'll echo what Mayor Walton said in the video, is say, the three most populated schools are within a few hundred yards of each other here in the city. You all have driven that traffic at one time or another. And there's a lot to be done to make it safe, but still, there's nothing we can do to make it completely safe. But in the last couple of weeks, we've had 5 accidents in that vicinity. Not all were road related, but a lot of accidents that happen on transportation. For the city, it means about $3 million. We don't collect property tax, so we count on local option sales tax. What happens is we grow, and we're going to grow whether we want to or not. The good news is we live in North Georgia. Our economy is staying a little stronger, we're growing. The bad news is we live in North Georgia. The Department of Transportation over that area is the second busiest transportation district in the state. So, echo what Mandy said, if we put skin in the game, so to speak, GDOT's much more active. They'll listen to us. Otherwise, they say, well, yeah, it's on our list. Like Perimeter Road, we've been talking about for years. Fiscal year 30, they're going to look at it again. So we want to wait until that far in advance to fix Perimeter Road and 9 North, or 9 South, or Luncheon Campground, or all those issues. So the city will get $3 million, but then we'll join in hands with the county and GDOT, it over doubles that, over $7 million, almost $8 million. So that's a lot of money to help a lot of people. Most subdivisions, as they come in, they want to bring their roads in, new roads, they want to bring them in. The problem is there's no revenue source to take care of those roads 10, 15 years down the way. So if you drive through some of the older shopping centers and things, you're starting to see the wear and tear that's just starting to happen. It's hard to fund those kinds of things. So if you've got any questions, Trampus is our expert on the road. Please fire away pertains to the city. Again, a lot of ours are big intersections. And those are usually roundabouts, and those usually cost a lot of money. We're excited about that. It gives us opportunity, as they mentioned, to fix some roads that had never been paved. And that's long term. And the growth's coming. The city is coming to the county. That's a good thing, but it brings a whole lot of challenges, as all y'all know. You got any questions? City related?
Or do you want Joey and then they can fire both of you?
Here's the thing. Look at all of us sitting at the table. That's probably going to start talking.
I'll be brief. I'm Joey Leverette, County. Mandy, thank you for a fantastic job. Y'all are lucky. Our representing y'all. Really great job. This is a game thing. It's a game thing. It's a watershed. This vote is a watershed. I don't say that lightly. Without this study, it's very limited on what we can do to address some of these communities. I know what Bob said, we keep calling number 68.7. We don't know how much extra funding we can get from the state. That's your money too, state taxes. I would think you say this really would be $100 million impact to this community, county and state. It's a lot of money, but we want to help the county get our share of that state funding. We're going to make them do that. We talk a lot about the locations. Luncheon Campground, everybody knows about that. I do encourage you to look at this list. I'm sure you or your neighbors may impact directly and maybe your residents. Certainly look at the list. It covers the whole county, and not just one area of the county. In the north and south, there's locations, project locations there. A lot of dirt roads in this community, gravel roads. Can't make them all, but certainly going to face more. And I think the people are very supportive of that. Some people don't want to pay the road, but we're going to do the best we can to cover needs of everybody. Any questions with that?
All right, now is your opportunity. Questions do you have?
Somebody has a question.
Listen, I told them I was going to have to speed up so that y'all would have time for questions.
Maybe I have a ballot question. Is this the only thing that's on the ballot that day and will go to our normal board members?
No.
There are other items?
Primary day.
Now, what we going to take on the ballot, that's the Republican and primary day for your state elected officials, your county elected officials. So they'll all be on the ballot that same day as well. We wanted to do it on a day where there would be a good turnout of representation of the county.
Good question.
I remember last time TSPLOST came up and was voted down, I think the misconception was that everybody assumed that we were trying to bring MARTA here. And there's no way MARTA's coming. How do we get that message out?
We are doing, this is part of why we wanted to take this opportunity with the captive audience and business leaders. Every single one of you in this room are business leaders in our community. And we as a chamber board voted to take a stance on TSPLOST because we do understand the importance that transportation is to our community. And so we are going to be doing all we can to really get it out. We're going to be sharing this video in short increments. I encourage you to share it on Facebook. Have conversations. Don't be afraid to have those conversations, or to reach out to one of us that can help answer the questions. Trink us. We'll put a cell phone number on it. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. But we want to be sure that, you know, we're all going to have to do that. If you belong to a civic organization where we would have another captive audience, where you're going to have a lot of those questions, let us know. We have, what do we call it, the TSPLOST tour that we're going on. So we're happy to do that as well, so that we can spread the information. Yes.
And I would say that as well, talk about, if you run across someone who has questions and they want to give them mine, I'll be more than happy to talk to them. I mean, my number is out there for everybody to see, and I'm sure John is the same way. So if you run across somebody who has questions that you can't answer for them, please have them to call me, or have them call the county manager or the city manager. We'll be more than happy to walk them through the process.
And you may or may not see some signs on the road for the proposed projects that the Advocacy Committee have designed, and we're going to be putting them out in the next few weeks on some of these roads. So that will spark conversations, especially if it's in your community, right? And they want to know what this is. So again, direct them to one of these wonderful people, and they can answer the questions too. But we're going to create some chatter about it. That's what we want to do. What are the questions?
All this information is on the chamber's website, the county's website, city's website. We're sharing the links as much as we can.
What was the margin in the last vote for TSPLOST as far as the number of votes that were given versus 56 or
56, 40, 30. That was close. That's relatively close. Quite honestly, the obstacle we faced the last time was the lack of time to get this type of information out there to the public. So we feel like maybe they really didn't have the information from them to be able to make that decision.
I do believe the world was upside down last time.
It was 2020. Trying to pass a new tax in 2020. What other question? Yes, ma'am.
What would the timeline be for receiving the funds, and, you know, how long would the estimated capital impact?
If it passes, or when it passes. We start collection in October of 24, so go to hardware store that we did October 24. That's a 5-year period, and the total 68.7 million collected stops. It's going to be 4 years, 10 months. But it won't be beyond 5 years.
And then it'll be about the spring of the next year when we can start spending the money. I have the money spent. We prefer that money spent.
We will hire a professional project manager to help us with this, to keep on track and on schedule. It's a heavy lift. It's been done, I don't know that quick. Some of the projects will be done in-house with cities like county crews, some of the paving, but more complex, like Dezine and ballot acquisition. We'll have a professional engineer to project manager.
I will tell you, in the wave of economic development, this is obviously Kevin's wheelhouse. I'm there a good bit. You know, we don't have, Jerry talks about this in the development authority, we don't have rail. We don't have, I mean, our major mode of transportation are our roads. And if we don't have that, we really have nothing to bring in those higher paying jobs that we're looking for, to bring in those companies that can pay the bulk of the property tax, right? And bring those in as well, which is huge. We don't really think about that. We just think about, oh, I don't want to pay a penny, but really it's much, much bigger than that. No other questions? Well, we are going to post this on the chamber website and our TSPLOST page. Please be sure, do you have a question? Are you gonna wait till they sit down?
How do you, so during the last one, when it was an issue, I think I brought to me several points. We already pay taxes. Last time I paid for, we're looking at other things. So how do we differentiate to highlight the benefit of TSPOST?
So the difference in are they talking about property tax?
We're talking about sharing as much information as possible. I think that's what needs to be shared to point out. 'Cause I can't tell you the numbers of I had to the same thing. Already paid taxes.
What kind of taxes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's going to happen though is they're going to pay more than their fair share for property taxes if we need to find another way to maintain our roads. So like they said several times in the video, this is the fairest tax across the board because it is taxed to how much you spend. It's not where you live, it's across the board of everyone who shops in Dawson County. So that would be the stance I would go. This is the fairest way to do taxes. If you want to keep your village rate low and keep your, that status quo, then we've got to come up with a different solution. Because I'm sure that same client also has complaints about the roads.
That's kind of my point. I think that's what needs to be pushed out is this is how you keep the other taxes lower.
Yes, absolutely. And that is on the back of our mailer that we're going to send out as well. But that is the message, and a lot of times people don't even read through it and infer that, on their own. But a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be threatened with the increase in property taxes. But it's not really a threat, it's going to be a reality, because we're going to have to do something. Good point, though. That's probably what everyone wants to do. What other questions or thoughts?
Yeah, I moved here probably right before the pandemic, and I've noticed in the last, year or so, just such a difference in the traffic, road issues, road quality, and, as realtor, people are always talking about going further out, and this is obviously one of the places, but we have to look at it from the standpoint, people, economic development as well as quality of life, that this is a big deal, the roads. This is what got me out of Johns Creek, quite honestly, one of the reasons. And that's the way a lot of people think. And now lately I've heard people that I brought up here talk about how bad the traffic is here. And of course, when you do construction, there will be, but we don't do anything and we don't make improvements, it's going to be a lot worse. And that's going to affect a lot of things for people here. So, I know nobody's, like I said, nobody wants an extra tax, but this, to me, seems to be a no-brainer, and we really do need to get behind this community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, no, absolutely. And share that with your community that you have as well. People always say the traffic is horrible. Well, it's relative, right? None of us drive to Atlanta every day, right? That traffic is worse than what ours is. And so traffic is real. No one wants to wait at a stop sign or at a red light or anything like that any longer than they have to, right? That to me is a little bit of perception, but you're right. If we don't do something, that's not going to get any better.
Yeah, this is a great proactive step.
Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of y'all being here. We are videoing this, so we will have it on our YouTube page. That is something else that you can share so that people can see the information as well. But it really is our task, everyone in this room, to be sure that we get the word out and let them know. Because I think when you have all the facts, like Mike said, it's a no-brainer. But when you just have what it might look like on the outside, MARTA, any of those various things that we can think of, it may not make sense. So having the facts is crucial for this community to be able to get this TSPLOST passed so that we can take advantage of those funds from people who do not live in the county. And GDOT funds, that was a great point. GDOT funds that we're already paying into, but we're not going to be getting the return unless we can have some skin in the game. So I'd like to thank Medical Plaza 400 for being our sponsor. They do have a grand opening for their Medical Plaza 2 on March 23rd. I apologize that was not on the list, but I want to give them the own shout out. It's from 9 to 11. They're doing a grand opening. So if you are not leaping in the lake for literacy, be sure that you go out there and help celebrate them. And then the hospital will be opening 10 to So all of these visions, and talk about TSPLOST, the hospital, that's a whole nother luncheon conversation. But traffic is not going to get any less. So be sure that you go out and spread the word. If there's anywhere that we can take our TSPLOST tour for our captive audience, please let us know. We will make sure that happens. Thank y'all so much.